An unidentified object appears on Earth and lands, and a crystal-like structure grows out of it. Attempts to communicate with it fail completely. Scientists quickly realize that this object is not natural, and its arrival sparks fear, curiosity, and urgency across the world. The massive alien crystal structure begins transmitting a signal into deep space. Later, astronaut Nico is chosen to lead a mission on the ship Salvare, heading toward the object's suspected origin in the Canis Major constellation.
And they want me to lead the mission.
About a month after launch, Nico wakes up while the ship is still far from its destination. The ship's AI system, William, tells her that the original coordinates were calculated incorrectly, and the journey will take several more months than expected. Nico then orders the rest of the crew to wake up, which surprises them since they did not expect her to be in command.
How many months does that add to the journey?
7, give or take.
Back on Earth, Nico's husband, Eric Wallace, a scientist chosen to study the artifact, studies the alien object as it begins to show unusual activity. Eric becomes obsessed with decoding it, believing it holds the key to first contact with extraterrestrial intelligence. On the ship, there is immediate conflict between Nico and her first officer, Ian Yersa, who challenges her leadership and pushes for more control over the mission. Nico decides to avoid Sirius and tries to put the crew back into sleep mode, but the crew supports the former captain, Ian.
Field test 147, infrasonic atmospheric sounding.
Have the crew prepare for Selma.
The situation escalates when the crew decides to mutiny against Nico's command, believing she is not fit to lead them through such a dangerous mission. The conflict reaches a breaking point, forcing Nico to fight to maintain control of the ship and complete their objective. Ian then takes control and forces Nico into stasis. He then pushes the ship closer to Sirius, despite the danger. However, once Ian is in charge, things quickly start to go wrong as the ship approaches a dangerous area of dark matter, something Nico has been cautious about. Ian pushes forward anyway, trying to prove himself as a stronger leader. His decision, however, puts the entire crew at risk.
You are made to do what I say. Now shut up and do it.
The engines begin to fail, and Nico is later awakened again and quickly regains control and makes a critical decision to save the ship. She manages to stabilize the situation. Meanwhile, the artifact on Earth starts sending out structured signals that Eric interprets as musical patterns.
Oh my God, did you see it?
The Salvare continues its journey, but the crew remains divided after recent events. Tension between members is high, and cooperation becomes more difficult as the mission goes on. On the ship, communication between the crew and Soma Sleep is disabled. Ian refuses to accept that he has lost control. Later, while repairs are being carried out, Ian confronts Nico and attacks her. During the struggle, Nico forces him into an electrified system, killing him. Afterwards, she informs the crew of what happened, and the situation increases the tension among them.
You mutinied, Ian.
The crew is still shaken after the mutiny and the incident in the dark matter region. Nico is back in command, but trust between her and the crew is weak. Small disagreements turn into tension, and mistakes feel dangerous. Nico tells the crew that she was the one who killed Ian Yersa. Later, a major accident follows and the ship begins losing oxygen. The crew is told they have only a few hours before they lose consciousness. An engineer finds a nearby planet with breathable conditions. The ship travels there and discovers underground caves filled with a mineral that contains oxygen. The discovery shifts the mood slightly, and Nico decides to investigate it.
So we land on it, extract oxygen from, I don't know, ice or whatever.
Back on Earth, Eric Wallace is still studying the alien artifact and has figured out it responds to music, specifically Mozart's Eine kleine Nachtmusik. Before Eric can process any of this, Harper Glass walks up to his table. She is a ruthless media personality who previously wrote about Nico's disastrous pilgrim mission that killed 10 crew members.
But my job is to make sure my followers know the truth.
Nico wakes up the second pilot, Cass, from Soma Sleep and sends a small team down to the planet's surface. At first, everything seems calm and almost too perfect. The environment looks habitable, and there are signs that suggest life could exist there. Cass takes August and Oliver on a mining expedition for the oxygen-hydrogen crystals. But as they explore further, things start to feel off. Bernie and Javier are doing damage inspections on the Salvare's hull. Bernie finishes half of the work, but instead of heading back, he wanders off to collect soil samples and alien matter.
Just think about it. Before today, no one knew this planet existed, and yet, here we are.
While collecting samples, the engineer removes her helmet after measuring safe oxygen levels. As they leave the cave, they notice a low orbiting moon rising that they had not detected before, and it is causing massive seismic instability on the planet. Instead of pulling ocean tides like Earth's moon, this one pulls magma. The ground then starts shaking violently, and Javier realizes Bernie is missing, and he searches for him.
Look at us, we're the first people to ever breathe air on another planet.
Elsewhere, Nico orders an immediate takeoff, but Petra and Oliver are still deep in the caves. William warns that if the eruption continues, they could be buried alive and die down there. Instead of risking anyone else, Nico flies the rescue shuttle herself. She pulls it off and gets her crew back.
Thank you for coming back for us.
You can throw up now if you need to.
After the rescue, Nico suffers a panic attack linked to her past mission. She isolates herself and speaks to Ian Yerxa, questioning her decisions.
I need to ask him a question. I need to talk to Yerxa.
On Earth, Eric brings his daughter to the artifact and believes the signals from it may be an attempt to communicate rather than a threat, since no harm has been done so far. Back on the ship, one crew member named Petra becomes ill. She starts violently convulsing and contorting her body, twisting in a way it should not. Everyone stands around helpless as she collapses.
What do we do?
The Salvare crew begins to show signs of mental instability during the mission. Several members experience hallucinations and paranoia, and the condition spreads across the ship. Each person reacts differently. Some withdraw, some become aggressive, and others begin to question their ability to continue the mission. Petra's medical scan shows a concerning result, suggesting that something may be growing inside her. The crew reacts with panic as they consider the possibility that something may have been brought back from the planet.
That planet. Could we have brought something back that was contagious?
Soon after, the ship's internal temperature rises as they move deeper into space, and something new starts affecting the ship. Nico takes manual control again, but suddenly, she experiences a terrifying symptom and loses her sight completely. It happens abruptly with no clear cause, and her medical tests show her stress levels are dangerously high. An astrobiologist named Julian discovers high boron levels in her blood and links it to a virus found in the planet's soil samples.
Can't see.
He runs tests and studies the data collected from August's condition. He tries to develop a treatment or preventive measure, even though he does not fully understand what they are dealing with. He attempts to create a cure for something that does not follow known biology. As more crew members are affected, tension rises and conflicts break out. The crew's behavior becomes unpredictable and discipline starts to fall apart. Nico tries to keep control but struggles as the situation escalates.
You're the real virus on the ship, Nico. You.
On Earth, Eric continues studying the alien artifact and attempts to understand its signal. Meanwhile, the crew meets to discuss the outbreak. Petra then shows severe symptoms as something grows from the back of her head, eventually killing her.
Well, what the fuck is that?
Julian tries to develop a treatment and tests it on himself, but he also becomes infected. Realizing he will not survive, he asks to be thrown into space. The crew begins to realize how serious things have become and how close they were to completely losing control of the mission.
Button, Bernie!
As pressure builds, the crew starts to fracture again. Bernie continues to search for a cure, and in his research, he learns that gamma radiation can destroy the virus. Nico steers the ship towards Sirius, and the crew is exposed to radiation, which ends up curing their condition.
So we believe if we blast the ship with enough gamma radiation,
It'll decontaminate it.
On Earth, Eric continues decoding the alien artifact signal and becomes increasingly convinced it is structured and intentional, possibly connected to what the Salvare is experiencing. After that, Nico wakes to loud knocking sounds and finds an injured engineer, which makes her suspect that something on the ship is attacking people. Around the same time, the ship's AI, William, stops responding to them. Nico comforts an injured August after the Salvare has apparently landed on a planet called Canis Majoris and been attacked by a mysterious creature. The crew begins searching the ship and tries to eject the creature into space, but it kills several people along the way. During this time, William is still offline.
No, I am not losing her. Now help me.
They are joined by Cass, who has been separated from the rest of the crew and wants to leave the ship immediately. As they try to reach the medical bay, an alien creature grabs August and drags her away. Later, it is revealed that the entire incident was only a dream. Nico is actually stuck in her Soma sleep pod due to a critical system malfunction. The pod's batteries are losing power, and if Nico does not wake up within 30 minutes, she will be brain dead.
She is still plugged in when this thing shuts down?
Inside Nico's mind, she is trapped in a series of vivid and traumatic dreams. She first finds herself in a therapy session with a psychologist, Dubois, forced to discuss the tragedy of the Pilgrim. Her previous decision led to the death of 10 crew members. Nico realizes something is wrong, punches Dubois, and flees the room. Nico finds herself back on Earth with her husband, Eric, celebrating their daughter Jana's 8th birthday party. The illusion is so strong that even when William, who has entered her subconscious to guide her out, tells her that none of this is real, Nico initially resists and wants to stay in the happy dream.
You need to wake up now. It's an emergency. None of this is real.
Nico's final and most challenging trial replays the defining tragedy of her life, her time on the ship Pilgrim. She finds herself there with her former lover, Commander Hudson, who was one of the casualties. She is forced to relive the traumatic event. To save the ship from an explosion caused by a collision with moonlets near Saturn, Nico had to make a split-second decision to seal off a section of the ship, sacrificing the 10 people inside, including Hudson, to save the rest of the crew.
Something could happen, something terrible. You've got to trust me.
In the final repetition of the memory, Nico consciously makes the same heartbreaking decision to seal the door. But this time she accepts the weight of her actions, and she is finally able to wake up from the soma sleep to the relief of Zane, William, and Cass. While Nico is incapacitated, Cass is left in command. The crew is faced with a food shortage, as the mission is taking longer than expected, and the replacement crew is now awake and consuming resources. Michelle suggests taking a detour to a nearby moon. After waking up, Nico is told the ship has passed near a moon where they can gather supplies. William also detects the same type of signal that was found on Earth. When they observe the moon, they see the alien object on its surface again. The crew moves in to investigate.
Yeah, we took a slight detour.
4 light years.
Nico authorizes the mission, taking Cass, Sasha, Zane, and Bernie down to the surface in a shuttle. As they arrive, they learn that it has a breathable atmosphere. This is not some desolate rock. There is water in a lake right next to the artifact, which is a huge relief for the resource-starved crew back on the Salvari.
I have been all over Earth and I have never smelled anything so pure.
They find the crystalline tower, but it is not a pristine, glowing structure like the one on Earth. The object appears abandoned and weaker than before, with no visible life nearby. This one is ancient, it is decayed, partially toppled, and covered in vines and moss, as if the planet has been slowly reclaiming it for eons.
Gone a time, looks like. No wonder the signal's so weak.
Back on the Salvari, the tension between Oliver, the civilian scientist, and Javier, the military officer, finally reaches a breaking point. Meanwhile, William analyzes the signal from the tower and notes that it is weak and fragmented. Nico deduces that pieces of the crystal tower have broken off over time, likely causing the signal degradation. Her immediate pragmatic order is to find a broken-off chunk so they can take it back to the Salvari for Sasha to study. The crew successfully finds a small shard of the crystal and brings it back to the shuttle.
If we could find a piece that's small enough and take it back with us.
While Zane and Bernie are out searching for edible plants, Bernie panics at the sight of a bug. He stumbles backward and stabs his leg on a sharp alien structure. The injury immediately becomes infected by the native plant life, forcing Zane into emergency action. She quickly isolates the wound to stop the infection from spreading.
Why's my leg green?
Because it's infected.
Infected! I just crushed it!
Sasha studies the object and tries to analyze it, but he is suddenly grabbed and pulled inside. At the same time, Nico and Cass discover a nearby forest filled with flowers that cause strong euphoria. While chaos unfolds on the moon, August, Oliver, and Javier are stuck doing maintenance work on the Salvari, cleaning hallways and handling repairs while the main crisis continues. Oliver and Javier both show interest in August, and the tension between them builds. Eventually, each of them kisses her at separate moments, creating a complicated situation between the three of them.
Kiss me.
Back on Earth, Eric and Harper are still crowdsourcing the artifact mystery, and Dubois is not happy about it. On the moon, Nico and Cass, coming down from the pollen high, finally find Sasha, but he is dazed and disoriented outside the tower with no memory of what just happened. Then suddenly the ground erupts. Gigantic alien insects burst out and attack them, and they miss a small alien creature slipping aboard unnoticed. Sasha then begins seeing a double of himself. William suggests the alien objects may be probes, similar to human exploration devices sent into space. Suddenly, the AI system starts failing, and fires break out inside the ship. Cass tries to control it, but William goes offline completely. They attempt to restart the system, but they are unsuccessful.
William?
Nico is seen drifting alone in space, completely untethered. Earlier, the Salvare was in chaos. Fires break out across multiple decks. William is still offline. August, Oliver, and Javier trace the electrical surges to their source and find the alien that's stowed away on the shuttle. It is dead, fried to a crisp, but it has destroyed a critical section of the ship's wiring in its final moments.
What is that? One of those bugs from that moon?
Sasha is deteriorating mentally. The doppelganger hallucination that appeared after his encounter with the alien artifact is still with him, visible only to him. The duplicate taunts him, repeating the phrase, "Let me in." Sasha goes to Zane for help. She runs scans but finds nothing physically wrong. She diagnoses stress and prescribes him meditation. Bernie offers him a homebrewed drug to help him relax. Sasha accepts but still finds no relief. The duplicate continues to haunt him, and his mental state slides further toward despair.
I feel like I'm stepping outside of myself.
Javier and Cass attempt to reboot William. The reboot fails catastrophically. William flickers back online in a severely glitching state and misidentifies the remaining heat signatures as active fires.
In the crew quarters, I'm detecting a fire on the observation.
That triggers an automated go-home protocol. The protocol physically splits the Salvare into an autopilot course back to Earth, ignoring the other half and everyone still inside it. Nico takes manual control of her section and executes a high-precision thruster maneuver to realign and reconnect the two halves of the ship. The operation succeeds, but only barely.
The ship just broke in half, and if we don't put it back together in 30 minutes, we're all gonna fucking die.
In a series of flashbacks. Years earlier on Earth, after environmental collapse and widespread flooding, Nico was kidnapped for ransom. Her captor was Cass. During her time guarding Nico, Cass revealed a genuine fascination with space travel. Nico saw intelligence and potential in her. When the ransom was paid and Nico was freed, she handed Cass her contact information. Meanwhile, Nico goes outside the ship to inspect damage and is suddenly pushed into space. Shortly after, the ship activates a shield and disappears from view, leaving her alone. Floating in space, she tries to make contact while Cass also attempts communication from inside.
Cass! Michelle, this is Nico. Do you copy?
Some crew members believe Nico is dead, but she survives with very little oxygen remaining and spots the ship passing nearby. Using her last reserves, she sends a signal that allows her to be located. She then explains the source of the malfunction, and the crew moves quickly to repair it. However, the system then reports that the ship's seal has been breached.
The exotic matter containment unit. The gravity's building up too much pressure over there.
During repairs on the ship, Michelle volunteers. She locks herself inside the chamber before anyone can stop her. Through the glass, Cass begs her not to do it. Michelle manually pulls the cables, shutting down the overload, and collapses as radiation burns spread across her skin. Cass holds her as she dies.
Save the ship and all you fucks on board.
You're a hero.
Nico finds Cass sitting silently in front of Michelle's covered body. Cass is shattered by guilt because Michelle died while she was in command. In the medical bay, Sasha tells Zane he is feeling better, like a new and improved version of himself. Zane is relieved to hear the news. After Zane left, Sasha accessed his own brain scan files and deleted them. The scan had revealed a foreign mass physically attached to his brain. The alien entity is no longer just a hallucination. It is inside him now, and he chose to hide it from the others. Back on Earth, Eric Wallace is approached by Secretary of Defense Egan Harrison, who is also Sasha's father. Egan pushes Eric to put his artifact communication theory into practice immediately, using light signals at sundown instead of running more simulations. When the team shines specific wavelengths at the artifact, the power briefly fails. A door opens at the base of the structure, and the artifact gets ready to communicate.
It's ready to talk.
Eric sends a drone inside, but the signal is lost almost immediately. Before the feed cuts, it catches a glimpse of a figure that looks exactly like Sasha. Megan wants to send soldiers in, but Eric argues against it, fearing it could trigger a war. He suggests sending someone from his own team instead. A volunteer named Singh is prepped, but she panics inside the suit, so Eric decides to go in himself.
Is that my son?
Aboard the Salvare, the new member to be awakened, Beauchamp McCary, a diplomat replacing Cass in negotiations. Sasha, now compromised by the alien entity in his brain, begins probing the crew with questions about Canis Majoris and the ship's defenses.
I'm serious. Look what happened when William failed. We almost all died.
Eric enters the artifact. The door closes and communications are cut out. Inside, Sasha's apparition appears and leads him deeper. Eric finds himself in a classroom from 20 years ago, wearing white clothes. A younger version of Nico is there as well. He knows it is not real, but the entity uses the memories and even Nico's perfume to keep him there.
Hello!
Nico tells Eric that her crew is safe and alive. She appears pregnant and offers him chalk to solve an unsolvable equation on the board. He begins solving it, but his daughter Jana appears, calling for him. Eric chooses her and leaves the equation behind, walking out of the artifact. He went outside and collapsed. Egan is frustrated that Eric brought back riddles instead of answers. Eric explains the aliens used his memories to communicate and are far more advanced. He confirms the Salvare's crew is alive. Egan dismisses it as manipulation and prepares an armed military team to enter the artifact.
But they're okay, they're fine. They told me that everyone on the ship is alive.
On the ship, Javier reveals the vessel can fire an energy beam capable of destroying an entire planet. Sasha confronts him and demands instructions on disabling William and destroying the ship. During the confrontation, Sasha's behavior turns violent and unnatural as he attacks Javier.
Tell me how to turn them off. Tell me how to destroy this ship.
At the same time, the minister near the artifact sees the same disturbing events through the connection. The artifact darkens and releases a shockwave that knocks people down. In the chaos, Harper is pulled into the artifact and the door seals shut behind her. Eric finds his daughter unconscious after the blast. The Salvar enters a dense dark matter cloud. Navigating it will take months and must be done manually. Nico, Cass, and the newly awakened pilot Beauchamp will rotate shifts. Cass is openly hostile toward Beauchamp, accusing Nico of waking him to make her redundant. Nico explains he is simply the next person on the replacement list, filling the slot left by Michelle's death. The crew shares a meal together. Sasha prepares a salad, but secretly spikes it with Bernie's stash of alien pollen from the moon. Everyone who eats it becomes intoxicated, their emotions amplified to extremes. Sasha does not eat any. Crew members observe energy beams passing around them. William reports abnormal hormone activity across the crew, explaining that the dark matter affects brain chemistry, increasing serotonin and causing euphoric and unstable emotions.
With the unexpected levels of endorphins that Zane's picking up.
The effect spreads rapidly. Javier becomes aggressive and violent. Cass sinks into deep moroseness, alternating between pleading for her job and accusing Nico of ulterior motives. Oliver and August become intensely aroused. Zane experiences wild ecstasy. Bernie, also affected, kisses Zane. Nico realizes Beauchamp is the only one thinking clearly and orders the crew to stand down from all duties.
So right now, Beecham's the only one that leaves, and he is in charge.
Sasha admits to mixing Bernie's pollen into the salad, but claims he thought it was oregano. William warns that medication could dangerously amplify the toxins already in their bloodstreams. He simulates a party on the ship. The crew dances and emotional entanglements intensify. Oliver, August, and Javier nearly initiate a threesome, but Oliver and August focus on each other, leaving Javier rejected and angry. He storms off. Nico dances with William, while Sasha watches and encourages William's growing attachment to Nico. William later simulates a private encounter for Nico, creating a hologram of Eric.
It's fine, it's normal. You like her, you really.
Javier, still angry and wandering the ship, discovers Sasha has stolen his shipboard credentials. He finds Sasha attempting to shut down William. Sasha attacks him. On Earth, Jana is revealed to have developed severe leukemia linked to artifact exposure.
Please, no, please don't do it!
I did everything I was supposed to do.
William is completely unstable. The dark matter cloud overwhelms him, and Nico's rejection leaves him emotionally fractured. Sasha exploits his state and tricks him into shutting himself down entirely. Back on Earth, Eric approaches the crystalline surface, begging the artifact to take him instead. It responds, and Harper Glass emerges, disoriented and bloodied. Eric catches her as she falls.
Harper! Somebody call an ambulance!
Bernie, Nico, and Zane find Javier's body. August reveals Sasha did not eat the salad. They realize he was unaffected and responsible for sabotaging the ship. They access his CT scans and find they have been deleted. Earlier scans showed a foreign mass attached to his brain.
What the hell is that?
No idea, but it's not human.
Sasha is now attacking Beauchamp. His eyes are white, and needle-like tendrils extend from them toward Beauchamp's eyes to extract information. Cass attacks Sasha from behind, choking him, allowing Nico to pull Beauchamp away. Sasha then locks Nico out of the control room entirely.
Sasha! Why are you doing this?
An alarm sounds. August reports the temperature in the particle accelerator is rising dangerously, but everyone is trapped in their current location. Zane and Bernie are stuck in the lab as the heat increases. Sasha has disabled communication between the crew and is trying to make the ship explode by overheating the particle accelerator. Nico understands why the aliens would choose Sasha as their vessel, but focuses on getting August to the accelerator to stop the overload.
Sasha's turned off the comms. He's cutting us off, splitting us up.
On Earth, Eric hugs Jana and is approached by Dubois. She tells him Harper refuses to talk to anyone and has been asking only for him. Eric initially refuses, but Dubois reveals Harper is not really herself anymore. A brain scan shows an object similar to Sasha's lodged in her brain. Eric agrees to see her.
We've been looking for a way to communicate with the aliens.
Eric and Dubois enter Harper's room. Eric reads from a prepared script. Harper tells him she is fine, and the implant was not forced. She says the aliens are called the Akaya. They liked Eric because he was, in her words, not quite right. She explains the artifact's shockwave was self-defense. The Akaya did not know Jana was nearby and could cure her radiation condition. Eric is pulled out by security.
I can cure her. I can help you.
Bernie reaches the particle accelerator and re-engages the cooling system. Sasha counteracts it remotely, and they battle for control until Bernie electrocutes the system, shocking himself. Zane finds him with no pulse and performs CPR. After a tense moment, Bernie revives.
Come on, Bernie. No, it's not over. You hearing me, Bernie?
Sasha tells the Salvare to cut oxygen to all lower decks. The ship says it must be done manually. His head suddenly worsens. He scans and detects activity in the Soma room. Nico has woken Azami, Javier's replacement. Sasha contacts Nico and insults Azami compared to Javier. He and Nico enter a battle of wits. He asks about Operation Brimstone and whether she would use the Salvare to attack the aliens. Nico refuses. Sasha reminds her of William.
Azami's a good software engineer, but she's no Javier.
The ship then flies itself toward a black hole. Nico orders evacuation, but stays behind and enters Soma sleep to apologize to William, trying to bring him back online. Sasha stands over her pod with an axe, but William intervenes and stops him.
You came back.
We don't have much time.
They use the alien organism in Sasha's brain to power the ship and escape the black hole, then reunite with the shuttle and continue toward Pi Canis Majoris. On Earth, Harper reveals the Akaya did not intend to harm Jana and can cure her. Eric secretly communicates with her, and she tells him he must break her out. Salvare arrives at the habitable planet and picks up the artifact's signal.
I guess we go say hello.
Salvar finally reaches its destination, the planet Pi Canis Majoris. Nico assembles a small away team of herself, Cass, and Oliver, and they take a shuttle down to the surface. From orbit, William monitors the planet's energy signatures and confirms nothing has changed, meaning the Akaya have not yet detected their arrival. Before the shuttle departs, August pulls William aside and confronts him about his lingering bitterness toward Nico. She tells him he needs to make peace with her before it is too late.
No changes. You didn't let him know that we were going to pop by for a little visit?
On the ground, the planet is habitable but eerie. Nico and Cass hike toward the crystalline tower, identical to the artifact on Earth. On the way, they enter a network of caves and discover the ruins of an ancient civilization. In one shelter, they encounter a bat-winged humanoid alien and an ancient artificial intelligence. The AI speaks fluent English and explains it has been intercepting human transmissions for a century.
We have picked up every transmission humans have made.
Those transmissions have grown stronger over time, making Earth easier to locate. The AI clarifies this is not the Achaean homeworld. The planet is called Zakir. The Achaya landed here 5 years ago and are not friendly. It explains they control more than 336 star systems, and their home lies over 427 light-years away. It warns Nico that she should not be seeking them, but hiding from them, and if they are already on Earth, it is already too late.
If the Akaya are on your planet, then it is already too late.
Aboard the Salvare, Sasha is locked in the medical isolation lab, burning with fever. The parasite inside him is fully in control, but his consciousness briefly resurfaces and begs Zane to end his life. When she hesitates, his body turns violent and attacks her. Bernie is forced to shoot and kill Sasha. It becomes clear Sasha planned this, sacrificing himself so the parasite could be extracted and studied. Zane removes it, and William reprograms it. The crew then implants the parasite into Javier, who later wakes up restored. Nico and Cass move deeper into Zakir's ruins and discover a graveyard filled with skeletal remains. The same parasite is present in every corpse. Nico realizes the truth that the Akaya are not saviors, but a spreading parasitic infection that consumes civilizations. Earth is next. The Salvare lack the firepower to strike their homeworld, so they decide to return to Earth.
They're a disease.
August discovers she is pregnant and does not know whether Javier or Oliver is the father. Bernie and Zane grow closer, finding comfort in each other. William, still affected by Nico's rejection, communicates with a holographic simulation of her, built from emotional subroutines. The simulation reflects his attachment, and their interaction becomes a distorted form of companionship.
What the hell is going on?
On Earth, Dubois prepares surgery to remove Harper's implant, but Harper awakens and kills the surgical team. Eric secretly gives her access to save Jana. Harper broadcasts that the Akaya are peaceful, while Eric brings Jana into the artifact. On Zakir, Nico uses Operation Brimstone to destroy the crystalline tower, but the blast summons 5 Akayan warships that wipe out the planet. The Salvari barely escapes and sets back a course for Earth.
Launch FGL, get us out of here!